say when I can hear the presidents calling. I can hear Abe and Benjamin talking. Wanted the new whip, what the...
What's going on, guys? My name is Supreme Gaming, and today I'm here to state the facts that I have come across on proof that the reason why David from The Last of Us is alive. Now, take a look here, guys. It says right here, it says David is in his mid to late 40s. He's deceased. He died in winter of 2033, and he died in Silver Lake, Colorado, U.S. And it also states here that he was killed by multiple stab wounds by Ellie, which we all know if we've played The Last of Us Part 1. But guys, I have some straight facts right here that David could possibly be in The Last of Us Part 2. So let's get into the video. Alright guys, so let's talk a little bit about Neil Druckmann here. Neil Druckmann, he also confirms that in an interview months before The Last of Us Part 2 was ever announced of being released, he confirms that he has a new project when the guy interviewing him asks him if he has any new projects that he's working on. And Neil Druckmann, this is how he reacts and answers back. He says, well, yeah, I have a new project working on, and everything happens for a reason. These are Neil Druckmann's exact words right here at the top. It says, everything happens for a reason. Now, guys, also keep in mind that Neil Druckmann is also the vice president of Naughty Dog. So, who else also said everything happens for a reason? One of the characters that said this all the time? David. Now, Druckmann also confirms that in The Last of Us 2 that we're going to be traveling back in time through a variety of characters. So what if everything does happen for a reason? What if Ellie met David for some odd reason? What if he has something to do with her mom or something like that? What if it was not a coincidence for Ellie to meet David? And, you know, what if it goes back in time and states something to do with David knowing Ellie's mom, and everything did happen for a reason at that point? And on The Last of Us Part 2, it goes back and tells a plot twist on the reason why Ellie coincidentally met David. Now, guys, the review trailer, yes, the review trailer on The Last of Us Part 2 also speaks about David. It has something to do with David. The review trailer song is David's Psalm 23, Through the Valley of the Shadow of Death. Here's the lyrics at the top up here, how it goes. The same song that Ellie is playing the guitar to. Now guys, you can Google this and you will find these same lyrics on Google. It is David Psalm 23, as I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Now guys, it has also been confirmed that The Last of Us 1 and 2 is to be very religious. Now, what character of The Last of Us was religious? Guys, do you know? The character that was religious in The Last of Us was David. And now going back talking about the song up on the trailer, Psalms 23, David Psalms 23, it's also to do with David. It has his name in there, and the game is also to be very religious, and David is religious. Now guys, going back and thinking about David's past life before this happened, I know I may be wrong when I say this, but think about David. I mean, he's very religious. I mean, just listen how the man talks. I mean, guys, what do you predict that David could have been before all this zombie apocalypse has happened? All this infection and stuff has happened, before the whole world has went completely berserk. I mean, David's a religious man. He seems like he used to be a nice man. I mean, to me, he seems like he could have maybe been a preacher. What do you guys think? Okay guys, let's talk a little bit here about Nolan North. Nolan North was the first to speak about The Last of Us 2 back in 2015. He was the voice of David.
What are you doing?
Oh, hey Outlaw. Guys, this is my buddy Outlaw here from my last channel, the Backwoods Creekboys. But anyway, man, I'm talking about how David's alive up on The Last of Us 2.
David's alive? Wait, How could David be alive? He was slaughtered like a cow. He literally had his face hacked into with a machete by a 13-year-old girl. How could he be alive?
Well, man, I have facts right here stating that he's alive.
Well, a machete to the face, like about 10 times. I mean...
Alright, man, let me continue making this video.
Okay, alright.
Okay, guys, before I was rudely interrupted, let's go back and talk about Nolan North. Nolan North is the voice actor of David, and he was the first to also speak about The Last of Us Part 2 before it was ever released. The Last of Us Part 2 the release trailer was announced in 2019, but back in 2015, Nolan North came out and admitted that The Last of Us Part 2 was coming soon. Now, guys, if David wasn't going to be part of somewhere of The Last of Us Part 2, how would Nolan North, the voice actor, know anything about The Last of Us Part 2 to even reveal anything about The Last of Us Part 2 if David wasn't going to be somewhere in the game? Okay, guys, and let's talk a little bit more about The Last of Us Part 2. It was confirmed that The Last of Us 2 was based on a cult. Now, David was the only leader of the only cult on The Last of Us Part 1. Now, if David was the only leader of a cult on The Last of Us Part 1, and The Last of Us Part 2 was based on a cult, and there's no more leaders of any cults, so it has to go back in time. Now, keep in mind, like I said in one part of the video, earlier in the video, that Part 2, now Neil Druckmann confirmed about it having a bunch of time relapses where it goes back in time of a few of the characters. So if The Last of Us 2 was based on a cult and David was the only leader of a cult, so that goes to show you guys that David has to come in the game somewhere, whether it's either a present time or either a past time. My name is Supreme Gaming, guys. If you like this video, please make sure to smack the like button, and if you're new to this channel, smack the subscribe button for more content like this. I'm out. Peace.